Imagine a civilization so powerful, so wealthy, and so advanced that ancient writers described it as one of the greatest kingdoms of the world. A magnificent city surrounded by enormous walls. Great temples rising above the streets. Ships carrying riches across the sea. An army powerful enough to challenge ancient Athens. And then, according to an ancient Greek story, it all disappeared. Not over centuries. Not after a long war. But in a single day and night of catastrophic earthquakes and floods. The name of this mysterious civilization was Atlantis. For more than 2,000 years, people have searched for it. Some believe it was a real city destroyed by nature. Others believe it was inspired by a real civilization. And some believe Atlantis never existed at all. But where did the story actually come from? The story of Atlantis comes primarily from the writings of the ancient Greek philosopher Plato, who lived more than 2,000 years ago. Around the 4th century BC, Plato described Atlantis in two of his dialogues, Timaeus and Critias. According to the story, Atlantis was located beyond the Pillars of Heracles, which are generally associated with the Strait of Gibraltar. Plato described Atlantis as a powerful island civilization ruled by kings descended from the god Poseidon. Its capital was unlike anything ordinary. The city was built in a series of enormous circular rings of land and water, connected by bridges and surrounded by massive walls. At its center stood a magnificent temple dedicated to Poseidon. The city was rich in resources, fertile farmland, forests, animals, and precious metals. But Atlantis was not only wealthy. It was powerful. Its rulers commanded a huge military force, and eventually the Atlanteans sought to expand their influence across the ancient world. According to Plato's story, their greatest opponent was Athens. The Athenians stood against the powerful Atlantean Empire. And despite Atlantis' enormous strength, Athens supposedly defeated them. Plato's story says that Atlantis eventually fell because of earthquakes and floods. The island was swallowed by the sea. In the story, Atlantis disappeared beneath the waters, leaving no visible civilization behind. And this is where the mystery truly begins. Because Plato was not writing a modern historical record. He was a philosopher. And scholars have debated for centuries whether Atlantis was intended to be understood as a real place or as a philosophical story created to teach a lesson about power, ambition, and the corruption of great civilizations. Yet the possibility that Atlantis was inspired by something real has never completely disappeared. Over the years, researchers have proposed countless locations. Some have searched around the Mediterranean. Others have pointed toward the Atlantic Ocean. Some theories connect Atlantis with the ancient Minoan civilization on the island of Crete and the volcanic island of Santorini. Thousands of years ago, one of the most powerful volcanic eruptions in human history devastated the region. The eruption destroyed settlements, generated enormous waves, and dramatically affected the ancient Mediterranean world. Could memories of such a disaster have inspired the story of Atlantis? It is possible. But there is one major problem. There is no archaeological evidence that proves Atlantis, as Plato described it, ever existed. No confirmed ruins. No unmistakable inscriptions. No ancient map that definitively reveals its location. No discovery has solved the mystery. And that has not stopped the search. For centuries, explorers, historians, archaeologists, and adventurers have searched the oceans and ancient lands for clues. Every underwater structure has inspired new theories. Every strange geological formation has raised new questions. And every supposed discovery has eventually faced the same challenge. Where is the undeniable evidence? Perhaps Atlantis was based on a real civilization destroyed by a natural disaster. Perhaps it was inspired by several ancient cultures and transformed into a dramatic philosophical story. Or perhaps Atlantis was entirely fictional. A civilization created by Plato to warn future generations about what happens when power becomes arrogance.
I am the King of Kings. My law is absolute.
We may never know. But that uncertainty is exactly what has kept Atlantis alive. The city itself may have vanished thousands of years ago, yet the story never disappeared. It survived ancient Greece. It survived the rise and fall of empires. It survived centuries of exploration. And today, people are still looking beneath the waves for the ruins of a civilization that may never have existed. So, did Atlantis really exist? Was it a lost civilization destroyed by the sea? Was it inspired by a real catastrophe? Or was it simply one of the greatest stories ever created? For now, there is no final answer. And perhaps somewhere beneath the ocean, hidden beneath layers of sand and darkness, the answer is still waiting to be found. Until that day, Atlantis remains what it has always been. The lost city that history cannot prove and humanity cannot forget. If you love history, legendary battles, and the stories that shaped our world, subscribe to the channel and turn on notifications.